Folks, I've told you on many episodes that I've never cheated. But that's not true. I have cheated one time, and I'll tell you about it on this episode. Hey everybody, how are you doing? This is the S. Anthony Thomas. This is the S. Anthony Says podcast, episode number 478. How are you doing, my friends? How the heck are you doing? First of all, before we get started, I just want to thank all the new people that have come over from YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate you listening. And let's just get right into the episode. Something incredibly embarrassing happened to me very, very recently. And I know that it's part of the normal condition where something embarrassing happens to people. But this was really, really embarrassing. You know, you ever just run across somebody, you don't expect to see them, and then you run into them at exactly the worst possible moment ever. That's what happened. And I'll explain what I'm talking about. There was a place where I used to go to get lunch. I mean, literally pretty much every day because it was so close. And because, well, there's a couple of stores that are around me that kind of serve the same type of stuff. And just like anything else, there are going to be places that are a little bit better at one thing than another. And in many cases, you go to the place that has the thing you want. If you want something fried, you go to this place. If you want something baked, you go to that place, so on and so forth. But I found a place that was better at a couple of things than the other places. And you know, we're creatures of habit as human beings. So I tended to go to that place a little more and a little more and a little more and a little more, to the point where I was there every day and almost kind of threw the other places out of the window, didn't go to them at all. And that was my place. That was my lunch place. It was a habit at some point. And I would go in there and they'd give me the Norm from Cheers Street when I walk in. Hey, it's Anthony. Oh, they'd engage me in conversation while they were cooking the food, and it was fantastic. It was almost like having a little family. You know, when you go to work and you meet somebody at the lunch truck, or you go to work and you meet somebody in the elevator or in the break room or the lunchroom or whatever it is, you almost form like a little separate kind of micro family, right? Well, one day I had some relatives over and they wanted something to eat, but they didn't want anything from that place. They wanted it from someplace else. So I go, all right, if I don't go back to my everyday lunch place one day, it's not that big of a deal. And the relative was staying with me for actually an extended period of time. And so because they liked the other place, I was like, I'm not going to go to two places. I might as well just order my stuff here. And then I did. And it was good stuff. And because I was going there all the time for my relative, all of a sudden that very slowly and mysteriously became my new lunch place. I didn't do it on purpose. One day I decided to go back to the original lunch place because I felt guilty, and I figured I gotta go back there. They're gonna wonder what the heck happened. I go back and, hey, it's Anthony. Whoa, what happened to you? Whoa, hey, haven't seen you in a long time, man. It's been forever. Whoa, right? And I don't like to lie to people, but I lied to them. Yeah, I was working, in a different place, so I haven't been back here in a while. And that's what I told them. Like, oh, I said, so I'll be back, but not as much as I used to. Oh, well, we'll just enjoy you when you're here. Okay. Hey, oh, and it was great. Here we go. The embarrassment is about to happen. I'm going to the other lunch place. And next door to the lunch place, the son of the owner of the original lunch place has now started working there part-time for some extra money because he's going to school for something. And I walk into the lunch place to get lunch, and he sees me. Oh no. He smiles. He thinks maybe I'm just stopping in for a soda or grabbing something real quick or something like that. But then he sees me ordering food at the same time I would normally, back in the day, be ordering food from his father's place. Oh no. He walks in to greet me. I shake his hand, hoping that the person behind the counter will not give me the things that I ordered because I just have a soda in my hand. He may be thinking I'm just grabbing a quick soda on the way through. And the guy goes, hey, it's Anthony. Man, here's that thing that you ordered. Man, you've been getting this every day. You should try something else. And as he said that, I could see the original store's owner's son, who's looking at me right now and was smiling in the beginning, is not smiling right now. And I'm not smiling. I'm looking guilty, right? Now, I've never in my life in a romantic relationship ever cheated on any woman. It's never happened. It never will happen. I've never cheated. So I never had that feeling that a guy feels when he cheats on someone until now. Because his face just dropped down. Oh no. I felt like I was cheating on the other store. I felt like I was an unfaithful customer. Because if you think about it, when I think about the number of relatives that I had at the time, they were eating from my house that I was going to the store for, it was quite a bit of money I was spending on a daily basis. And now that money was not going to the other business. And I know it made a difference. It's not a difference between even being open or not. That's ridiculous. I'm only one person. But if somebody spends $30, $40 a few times a week in your store and they don't do it all of a sudden and you don't get to talk to them and they're not part of your family anymore, you do know and feel the difference. And all of a sudden the sing-songy voice that this guy had wasn't a sing-songy voice anymore. It became very stern. All of a sudden, we weren't talking like friends. We were talking about like people who had to work next to each other because the boss said so and they didn't want to work next to that person. Anyway, it's Anthony. It was, great seeing ya. Oh no. The extra breath at the end. Whenever somebody says, great seeing ya, and there's all that extra breath at the end, basically is the equivalent of F you, scum, because that's what he was thinking. And I felt so bad because I know he feels betrayed. And as I was paying for my food, he was looking at me. He was actually walking out and kind of looking at me as if to say, you dirty mother jugs and speed. But he wasn't saying the mother jugs and speed. He was saying some other stuff that rhymed with buck you, if you understand what I'm saying. And he walked back to his place where he was working, and my car was parked between the two places. And as I was putting the food on the seat, he was still looking at me and I was looking at him and he was looking at me and I was looking at him. And then oh no, he's now making a phone call and he's referencing. I can tell I got to pull away. I better not pull away. I want to see if he's definitely referencing me, and he's shaking his head in disapproval. I guarantee you he's calling his dad right now saying, you know, S. Anthony, when he would come in here all the time and order that food, that piece of crap is now going to a rival store 6 blocks away. He's a piece of crap. I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying, mainly because I could read lips and he said, he's a piece of crap. Right? And here's the thing. Now, can I really go back to that store and order anything? Are they going to feel differently about me? Because quite frankly, you know, like I said, I felt guilty. It feels bad. And there was a part of me that wanted to go back in the store, back in the original store. Oh, I wanted to go back in the original store. I'm driving by and I parked in front of it. I was going to go in and buy some food I didn't even want, just, you know, kind of a purchase apology or an apology purchase. I walked in and guess who's behind that counter? The son that snitched on me and the now father. And I noticed when I walked into the store this time, there was no, hey, it's Anthony. Whoa, it was none of that. They just kind of looked at me, right? And the man, the owner's wife, who's the co-owner, she was looking. She used to smile all the time. She used to come up around the corner, around the counter and hug me. It was no hug this time. She only gave me nothing but side eye. And the owner is like, hey, what's going on? Nice to see you here. Oh, he hit the word here really hard. Here. I'm like, oh no. The son looked at me. This time he's smiling, but it's not the kind of smile like, hey, I'm happy to see you. It's the smile of, yeah, I told on you, and now my dad thinks you're a piece of crap. Oh, man. His beautiful daughters behind that counter that always playfully flirted with me. They ain't playfully flirting with me now. Oh, ain't none of that now, Jack. They're not even talking to me. Can I help you? Oh.